but I talk a lot, and I was wondering if I could tell a story. Would that be all right? I remembered. This one's about, you always tell me I'm loud. I think I can tell it without the microphone. Can I tell it without the microphone, or I need a microphone? You need a microphone. Oh, okay. All right, this story's about Boudreaux and Thibodeau. And Boudreaux and Thibodeau were good friends. And Boudreaux come over to Thibodeau's house on Friday. And Boudreaux said, Thibodeau, I got some good news and some bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? And he said, tell me the good news first. And he said, okay. He said, I got some tickets for the LS&U game, Louisiana State University game, for Saturday. And Thibodeau said, that's good news. That's good news. He said, now tell me the bad news. And he said, well, my truck's broke, and we're going to have to take the camel. Thibodeau thought about it in a minute, and he said, well, that'll be all right. That'll be all right. We'll pack us the saddlebags, and we'll put it on the camel, and we'll leave real early, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So the next morning, Boudreaux come over early, and they packed the camel, and they went into town, you know. And they drove in, or they got into the big city, and they got at the light. And Boudreaux was driving, and he didn't know which way to go. So he was at the light, and he was looking left and looking right and looking straight. Finally, he remembered, and he went to the left. Now, they had left real early, so when they got to the stadium, it was empty, and they had a choice of where they put the camel. So they put the camel where they should, just any old place, and then they went into the game. And it was a good game. LS&U won, and everybody was happy. And they were coming out of the stadium real happy, except, so Boudreaux was leading, and then all of a sudden he stopped, and Thibodeau ran into him. Thibodeau said, why'd you do that? And he looked up, and he saw what Boudreaux had seen. He looked at the parking lot, and everywhere you could see, it was a sea of camels. Boudreaux said, how are we going to find our camel? Thibodeau said, don't you worry. Don't you worry, I'm going to find our camel. And so Thibodeau went to the first camel, went right up behind him in the first row, and went over to him, went like this. And he went on to the next camel. Dropped his tail. Went over to the third camel. Then Boudreaux just slapped him upside the head. Said, Thibodeau, what are you doing? He said, I'm finding our camel. And he said, how are you doing that? And he said, don't you remember when we was in town and we were at the light and there was that car behind us and it had its roof down and them boys was in that car, what they were yelling behind us? Don't you remember what they said? They said, look them two buttholes up on that camel.